Hey everybody, how we doing today? So today is business cycles. Hopefully everybody's doing well. They are staying healthy during the quarantine, and we're working on a worksheet that deals with business cycles. So let's take a look here. So the worksheet that you have is basically you got your vertical axis is GDP and your horizontal axis is time. Here's the concept we're working for: is that there's a general trend line that the economies are going to, like the U.S. is going to grow at. The typical, like in the country like the U.S., is going to grow at about 3%. Okay, and we're going to talk about why that is the case later. But GDP is going to grow at about 3%. But here's the deal: it doesn't grow like that all the time. It goes up and down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So it does, if it grew even Steven, then it would be like that trend line, but it doesn't. So within that, there's 4 points that we need to talk about. This point here is called the trough. I'll just write a T, but trough. That means the economy has bottomed out. Then this point right here is called expansion. Okay, it means that the economy is growing. It's getting larger. GDP is getting greater. And then this point here is called the peak. That means that it is peaked out. Okay, and then this point here is contraction. Okay, so trough, it means it's bottomed out. It's the GDP growth is the reduction in GDP growth has hit this lowest point. It's expanding. The economy is getting larger. The GDP is growing at a increasing rate, and then it's peaked out, and then it's contracting. Now the worksheet that I'm having you guys do today kind of plays with some numbers that aren't 100% accurate numbers, but reflect kind of what the business cycle in the U.S. has looked like over the last, 20 years. And then obviously right now we would be looking at what? We'd be looking at probably a contraction because all this stuff with the coronavirus. So that's how the worksheet's going to play itself out. On that worksheet, you're going to add up numbers and just remember that the equation for GDP is G plus C plus I plus XN. For the U.S., because we're a net exporter, the U.S. is a net exporter, a net importer. Our net exports will be negative because we import or buy from other countries more than we export. Okay, so as you add up all those numbers, I would write them all down first, and then you got to determine is each point a peak? Is it contraction? Is it expansion or trough? It only can be one of those four. I do the numbers first, go through it, and then do the worksheet there. So that's the task for the day. Hope you guys doing it. Hopefully it goes well. Email me if you have questions. Best of luck.